All right. All right, the July 8th, 2025 school board regular meeting is called to order. Mrs. Tresky, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Apow,
Here.
Mr. Cherry,
Here.
Mr. Link, Mrs. Quintana,
Here.
Ms. Trigg,
Here.
Ms. Watkins.
Here.
Dr. Jamison.
Here. Thank you all for being here in person and anybody joining us on our YouTube live channel. It's nice to see all the faces here this evening. We are going to move to approve the agenda this evening. Is there a motion and a second to approve the agenda as amended? The agenda was amended to update the committee members' names for the school board appointments.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Apel, second by Ms. Quintana, because I couldn't parse the harmony down there. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. We will move right along. We'd like to take a moment to ask everyone to keep the following in your thoughts. The family and friends of Virginia Early Wells Bain on her passing. She was 100 years old and she taught mathematics in Roanoke City for over a decade. Please also keep in your thoughts the profound tragedy that occurred over the July 4th holiday in Texas, where devastating floods took the lives of dozens, including many young girls and staff members at Camp Mystic. Our hearts are heavy as we reflect on the unimaginable loss experienced by those families and communities. We stand in solidarity with them during this time of sorrow and extend our deepest sympathies to all who are grieving. Please join me in a moment of silence. Please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The Virginia School Boards Association, VSBA, has selected the Community Builders Programs to receive an honorable mention in the inaugural VSBA Showcasing Innovation Award for school divisions with a student population over 10,001 students. Joining us today to present this award is VSBA President-elect Jenny Nichols. Ms. Nichols, as you are approaching the podium, let me turn this over to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Good evening, members of the Roanoke City School Board. And as Dr. Jamison mentioned, my name is Jenny Nichols. I'm the president-elect of the Virginia School Boards Association, and it's an honor to be here with you this evening on behalf of the VSBA to present you with this certificate of recognition. Roanoke City Public Schools have been selected as an honorable mention for the inaugural VSBA Showcasing Innovation Award in the category of student population above 10,001. This recognition highlights the meaningful impact of your Community Builders program, a shining example of innovation and service in public education. The program is helping equip students with tools they need to succeed both academically, personally, while also fostering a strong sense of community. Your dedication to student empowerment, community engagement truly reflects the spirit of this award. Congratulations, and thank you for your continued efforts to elevate public education. Thank you so much.
I would also like to take some time just to thank VSBA for the recognition. I also want to thank Josh Johnson, our Youth Development and Intervention Coordinator, Corey Alder, Director of Community Engagement, as well as Michaela McMullen, who is a site leader. So, and thank you to Alan Siebert as well, who was instrumental in getting it off the ground, as well as Delegate Rasool, and I'm grateful to the General Assembly as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you, Ms. Nichols, for being here this evening. We're also grateful for the continued support of our community partners. I think joining us this evening is Miss Elena Corfeld. Hi, Legislative Director from the
Elena, I'm
Office
sorry.
of Delegate Sam Rasool. We certainly appreciate your partnership and support here this evening. And thank you for all your contributions for helping us to build a stronger, more connected community. So thank you so much. We don't come off our high horse. Yeah, do you want us to come down?
Yeah, if you want to come right in front of the logo and all get together.
All right. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Great work.
All right. Congratulations. Thank you for being here. Good job. You are all, I feel very strange standing right here.
I know, I didn't have to lean over.
Okay, we're gonna need 2 rows.
All right, 2 rows?
2 rows.
All right, you're sure. All right. There we go. There we go. I know, right? We all want to.
Yeah, yeah. Josh, can you please come a little bit closer? Actually, Josh, can you get on Mr. Cherry's side? Yes, we can see everybody. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
I got
All right. Thank you so much again for coming. I appreciate you. I'll reach out.
Yeah, I know, this is the first. Well, I don't think so. Well, we haven't been up here that long. I know.
new, but it's a great backdrop.
It's not,
Right?
yes, maybe not so crazy that we're coming down for the first time. All right, I hope you didn't get too comfortable, Ms. Mitzel, because if you'll please come forward and tell us about our next recognition.
Thank you all. Good evening, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair, members of the board, and Dr. White. It is my honor to introduce you to Jessica Blandy, who you all know as a Grandin Court parent and teacher and the proud president of the Roanoke City Central Council PTA. Mrs. Blandy was recently recognized at both the local and state level for her advocacy and support of our students and staff. So first, Mrs. Blandy has been named one of the United Way's 100 Heroes in the education category. And there's more. In addition, and the reason why we are here to celebrate her tonight, the Virginia PTA named Mrs. Blandy the Blue Ridge Region Child Advocate of the Year, the only recipient in our region and one of only 3 recipients across the entire Commonwealth of Virginia.
Wow.
This prestigious award seeks to recognize advocacy work that supports the academic success, health, and welfare of our students. Mrs. Blandy was recognized for her coalition building and ability to empower families to find their voice and speak up for what they believe in. If you have ever talked to Mrs. Blandy for even like 30 seconds, you know that she is always on the go. However, despite this, or perhaps because of this and her involvement in our city and our community, you know also that she makes time to sit down and talk with every single person who wants to learn more about how they can support their students and our community. During her time as president, she has increased PTA membership, advocated to RCPS and alongside RCPS on several important issues, and has worked to provide detailed information to her membership in a way that isn't just talking to them, but providing them the facts so they can advocate and feel empowered to advocate for their students. What might set her apart the most, though, is the extent to which she has worked to build deep, trusting, and productive working relationships throughout this entire school division and across the city, from the school board to the superintendent to city council members to community partners and more. This enables leaders and staff to truly listen and engage with families, take meaningful action, and have a productive two-way relationship. She has also surrounded herself with fellow board members who work equally as hard to advocate for RCPS and is growing the next generation of PTA leaders. Mrs. Blandy sees advocacy and engagement as a 24/7, 365 effort, and she keeps a finger on the pulse of so many issues affecting our entire region, which benefits our students, our city, and our region. So please join me in congratulating Mrs. Blandy.
I just wanted to thank the school board, and also I'd like to thank everybody in Roanoke City Schools who has cheered me on, who has been on late night phone calls or Zooms with me. I wanted to share that one thing I've learned, well, one of the many things I've learned over the past 2 years doing this is that not all PTAs have a cohesive working relationship with the school board and or the central administrations. A lot of them are very fraught. And so I have to kind of tread lightly when I'm like, oh, wow, because they'll give us a room and a building to do this and that. You don't want to brag, but it is actually an extraordinary working relationship that the PTAs have with you, with the teachers, with everybody in central office. I hope to keep enriching that. And so we couldn't do what we're doing without your support. And so it all comes full circle. And we were having a meeting today at the Community Empowerment Center, and we kind of stumbled on what I think our new direction for the first 2 years was just getting recognition, explaining to people that PTA means advocacy, every child, one voice. And so looking to the next 2 years, what do we kind of want to build on? And I think what we sort of settled on was engage schools, make safer communities. And that kind of encompasses everything we want to do. So that's kind of what our direction will be the next couple of years. And we could not do it without you guys. When I was at state PTA conference, there was a superintendent being recognized, and the girl next to me was obviously she was the president of her council PTA, and she was crying because she was so excited for her superintendent. And she leaned over to me. She was like, I'm sorry, I really love her. And she was in a unique position like me. She teaches in the district and she's this PTA. And I leaned over and I said, no, I was looking at you. And I was like, if that were my superintendent, I'd be doing the same thing. And she was like, well, actually, she introduces me to her superintendent, and Dr. White is her superintendent mentor. That sums up the relationship really well, and that kind of just gives you a glimpse behind the curtain of how much we appreciate everybody in this room, everybody watching, and every single parent, whether you're a member yet or you're going to be. There's a place for you in advocacy, and we are proud to put Southwest Virginia on the map.
Love it.
Thank you for your passion. I do.
All right. As we wrap up recognitions, I'd just like to thank Councilman Hagan for being here this evening. Thank you for coming this evening. We'll move on to the personnel list. Is there a motion and a second to approve the personnel list as presented?
So moved.
Second.
By Mr. Cherry, seconded by Ms. Trigg. Yes. Is there any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. All right. Tonight is the annual school board organizational meeting. So with that said, I'll turn the meeting over to Dr. White for the election of the school board chair.
Great, very good. Thank you, Madam Chair. In accordance with the Code of Virginia, which requires the election of officers at the first annual meeting of the school board, I declare the floor open for nominations for chairperson of the Roanoke City School Board for the 2025-2026 school year.
Dr. White, I nominate Franny Abel.
Are there any other nominations? Being no further nominations, these nominations are closed. Those in favor of Franny Apel being chair of the board, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no. Congratulations, Franny Apel. I declare you elected chair for the 2025-2026 school year.
Thank you. She's like,
Now, Madam Chair, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. White. Let's move on to the election of the vice chair. In accordance with the Code of Virginia, which requires the election of officers at the first annual meeting of the school board, I declare the floor open for nominations for vice chairperson of the Roanoke City School Board for 2025, for the 2025-2026 school year. Are there nominations for vice chair?
Yes, I nominate Mr. Michael L. Cherry for Vice Chair for Roanoke City School Board for school year 25-26.
Any further nominations? Being no further nominations, nominations are closed. Those in favor of Michael Cherry being vice chair, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say no. I declare that Michael Cherry is elected vice chair for the 2025-2026 school year. Congratulations.
Get your name tag.
Okay.
Musical chairs.
I guess I'm sliding one over.
There you go.
He's like,
Out
go.
of here.
And this?
Eli, you seem a bit too happy about
I'm
this.
very proud of my colleagues.
There you go.
Take your name tag.
Pass that to her. And that to her.
That's mine.
Oh, you was, she was ready.
Changing of the guard.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. So now let's move on to the appointment of the clerk and deputy clerk. Is there a motion and a second to approve Kim Tresky as clerk and Dawn Winterware as deputy clerk for the 2025-2026 school year?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Watkins, seconded by Ms. Trigg. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye, opposed say no. Aye. All right, motion has been approved. We have a clerk and a deputy clerk. Congratulations, ladies. All right, let's move on to the 2025-2026 school board meeting calendar adoption. Is there a motion and a second to adopt the 2025-2026 school board meeting calendar as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Jameson, seconded by Ms. Quintana. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. And the motion passes. Moving on to the appointment of the superintendent's designee. Is there a motion and a second to approve the appointment of Mr. Archie L. Freeman III as the superintendent's designee for the period July 8, 2025 through July 14, 2026?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Cherry, seconded by Ms. Watkins. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say no. And the motion passes. All right, next is regarding the authorization of signatures in the absence of the superintendent. Is there a motion and a second to approve the recommendation for authorized signatures in the superintendent's absence for the period of July 8, 2025 through July 14, 2026, as presented?
So move. Second.
Moved by Ms. Quintana, seconded by Dr. Jameson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. The motion passes. Moving on to the appointment of the Division FOIA Officer. Is there a motion and a second to appoint Dr. H. Allen Siebert as the Division's FOIA Officer for 2025-2026?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Watkins, seconded by Ms. Trigg. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. The motion has passed. Next up is school board committees. Is there a motion and a second to appoint the following school board members to the required standing ad hoc advisory board point of contact and superintendent's committees for the 2025-2026 school year as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Watkins, seconded by Dr. Jamison. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. And the motion for the committees passes. Moving on to the selection of the delegate and alternate to the VSBA Annual Conference. Is there a motion and a second to appoint Ms. Joyce Watkins to serve as delegate and Mr. Michael Cherry to serve as alternate to the VSBA Annual Conference, which will be held in November in Williamsburg, Virginia?
Moved.
Moved by Dr. Jamison,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Quintana. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Say no. The motion passes. All right. Now, Dr. Jamison, do we have any signups for agenda or non-agenda items?
We do have signups for agenda and non-agenda items this evening. Before we begin, we'll say the school board values open communication, and we look forward to receiving your comments. We encourage all participants to engage in civil discourse and ask that you keep your comments respectful in helping us achieve this goal to ensure regular opportunities to address the board are available and that the board has time to conduct its business. Up to 30 minutes is allowed for public comment at regular board meetings. Citizen comments offer an opportunity for the public to inform the board. The board and superintendent generally do not respond to comments made or questions posed. All individuals are urged to provide written comments, copies of their comments or other materials supporting their views to the clerk of the board, who will ensure the dissemination to board members. Staff present at the board meeting, whenever possible, will assist you with your inquiry. When you come forward, please state your name for the record and state whether you reside in Roanoke or not. We ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. Speakers may not cede their time to another individual. There is a light at the center of the podium, and that light will turn yellow when you have about 1 minute left. Our first speaker this evening, Madam Chair, is Christina Clifton.
Good evening, Dr. White, Madam Chair, and members of the board. My name is Christina. I do reside in Roanoke County, and I've had the privilege of serving in Roanoke City Public Schools for the past 8 years. I began my journey with the district as a partner from Carilion, working as a school nurse at John P. Fishwick Middle School. After 5 years in that role, I transitioned into the position of school health manager, where I've had the honor of leading an exceptional team of healthcare professionals. This evening, you'll notice part of that incredible team is standing behind me. I want to take a moment to recognize them for the critical work they do every day. They are dedicated to ensuring that all RCPS students receive safe, equitable, and compassionate health care, services that are essential for our students' well-being and academic success. We are here this evening to highlight the importance of school nursing. No one can speak to the value and impact of school nursing better than school nurses themselves. In a school setting, the full scope of a nurse's responsibilities is not often fully understood, nor is the importance of consistent access to licensed healthcare professionals for both students and the broader school community. As many of you are aware, Carilion will be discontinuing its oversight of the school nurse program, a partnership that began in 2011. Over the past 14 years, this collaboration has laid a strong foundation for student health services in our schools. In light of this transition, and as previously proposed, our goal is to ensure continuity of care for our students by bringing the school nurses in-house, officially making them part of the RCPS team. This shift is not only a practical solution, but also a meaningful opportunity to further integrate health services within the school community. School nursing has evolved significantly over the years in response to the growing and changing needs of students. Our team has developed a strong student-centered health services program that fosters student growth and development as part of a collaborative effort between families, schools, and medical providers. At the center of that collaboration is the school nurse. By bridging the gap between health and education, school nurses ensure students are healthy, supported, and ready to learn. School nursing is a unique and specialized field that blends pediatric, emergency, community, or public health care, all within the dynamic environment of a school setting. It is a complex role that requires the ability to address a wide range of student health needs while navigating the educational setting. School nurses manage individualized healthcare plans, administer medications, track medical trends, and assist with care coordination. In addition to responding to daily health concerns, school nurses play a vital role in preventing emergencies. Their clinical judgment is not just helpful, it is often life-saving. To give you some perspective, during the 24-25 school year, our nurses recorded 97,518 visits across 25 districts in the clinic. Of those, 281 visits were considered significant, meaning our nurses used their professional training and clinical expertise to recommend a higher level of care. These are not minor issues, they are moments when the skill and presence of a licensed nurse made a real difference in student safety and outcomes. Next, I would like you to hear from another member of our leadership team, Vanessa Hedge. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I was going to call Vanessa Hedge, and here you are. Thank you for being here.
Hi. My name's Vanessa Hedge, and I reside in Roanoke County. Good evening, Dr. White, Madam Chair, and members of the board. I bring over 30 years of pediatric nursing experience. 17 years of that has been working as a pediatric nurse practitioner. For the past year, though, I have had the privilege of serving as the dedicated nurse for students with intense service needs within Roanoke City Public Schools. In this role, I serve as a liaison between school staff, families, allied health professionals, and community medical providers, assuring that the complex healthcare needs of the students in the regional program are met with expertise and compassion. I also continue to work flex time as a nurse practitioner with Carilion, specializing in pediatric diabetes care. Many of those students or of the children that I see in that clinic are CPS students. This dual role has allowed me to offer a unique opportunity of continuity of care, bridging the gap between medical and educational settings and advocating for student health across both systems. Something I would like to highlight tonight is this. School nurses are often the only licensed healthcare professional in a school building. That fact carries both great value and responsibility. Our CPS nurses care not only for students, but also staff, visitors, and anyone on campus who may require urgent medical attention. School nurses manage everything from minor injuries to chronic and life-threatening conditions, including asthma, seizure, diabetes, severe allergies, and many more. This dedicated work allows students to remain safe, present, and engaged in learning. By working collaboratively with school staff, families, and healthcare providers, school nurses create individualized care plans that support each student's unique needs, especially those with complex medical conditions that require coordination across multiple systems. Healthy students are better learners, and school nurses play a critical role reducing absenteeism and promoting academic success by keeping students in school healthy and ready to learn. Our nursing team is guided by the framework of the National Association of School Nurses, which emphasizes care coordination, community health, quality improvement, and leadership. Under this model, we operate at the top of our licensure, delivering high-quality care that truly changes the outcomes for the students we serve. As part of the direct care that we provide, school nurses help families navigate care plans, administer medications, monitor immunization compliance, and conduct required screenings, all in accordance with public health guidelines. Over the years, we've been fortunate to work under a guidance as dedicated medical director from Carilion, whose clinical expertise and leadership has been instrumental to our success. We are incredibly grateful that she has agreed to continue in this role for the upcoming year and supporting us through this important transition. As our CPS moves forward, I hope the board will continue to recognize and support the essential role our school nurses play, not just in health, but in academic achievement and student success. Thank you for your time and commitment.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bryce Vandenberg is our next speaker. Oh, wait, I went out of order. I'm sorry, Mr. Vandenberg. Carrie Roach is our next speaker. My apologies. I'm new.
Hi, my name's Carrie Roach. I am a resident of Botetourt County. Good evening, Dr. White, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name's Carrie Roach. I've proudly served Roanoke City Public Schools for the last 7 years. I began as the school nurse for Roanoke Academy, built really strong relationships with the students and staff there. And then in the last year, I've embraced a leadership opportunity and stepped into the role of team lead for our nurses. In this position, I've been able to guide and support my team while continuing to contribute to a positive student-centered atmosphere in our district. School nurses are frontline leaders in public health education, screenings, emergency response. They're responsible for implementing health policies, leading the training for school staff, managing chronic conditions, and responding to a wide range of emergencies from injuries, medical incidents, and mental health crises. Their role extends far beyond the walls of the clinic. They serve as a trusted point of contact for their students, their families, and the staff. In times of public health concerns, school nurses help ensure that our school communities are informed, prepared, and protected. We believe this transition will not only preserve the high standard of care the students receive, but also create new opportunities for alignment and collaboration within the district. By integrating our nursing staff more closely with school-based services, we can more effectively respond to the evolving needs of the students and their families. This change represents more than an administrative shift. It's a meaningful investment in the long-term health and safety of our students. Being a school nurse is also incredibly rewarding. We have the privilege of building lasting relationships with these students and families and watching them grow over the years. The joy of seeing a student return just to tell us about their day, or get a hug, or just simply check in with a trusted adult, it means the world to us. It helps, our presence matters. We take as much away from these interactions as the students do. It's these connections what makes our work so meaningful. As we hope to transition into the RCPS family, our team of nurses are deeply committed to upholding the highest standards of student care. We're excited about the opportunity to join RCPS and bring our experience, our dedication, and our passion for student health into this school community. Bringing school nurses services in-house is a necessary and strategic step forward for us. I hope we have your support during this transition and a commitment to the health and success of every student in our district. Thank you for your time and your support in recognizing the essential work of school nurses in our CPS, and I'm proud to serve alongside all of them, and I'm confident we'll continue to meet the needs of our students with excellence in care. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for your patience, Mr. Vandenberg. You are next.
Good evening. Chairperson Apo, Dr. White, members of the school board, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you guys tonight. My name is Bryce Vandenberg. I'm actually a resident of Roanoke County. I'm speaking to you today on behalf of myself and my wife, Casey. We're both currently employees of Roanoke City Public Schools for more than 10 years. We're also on behalf of our son, Jared, who is 6 weeks old tomorrow. We are respectively requesting a review and expansion of the proposed Roanoke City Public Schools parental leave policy. I've read the proposed changes to the current policy, and while I appreciate the update to include families like mine that were formed through surrogacy, or the use of a gestational carrier, I feel the policy needs to be expanded from what is currently proposed to provide all genetic or adoptive parents of newborns with an opportunity for paid leave, like is given to birthing parents. A leave policy that does not allow for paid leave puts an emotional and financial strain on new and growing families. A family should not have to worry about bonding and caring for a newborn based on the manner in which their child was born. Children, regardless of how they come into our lives, deserve time with their parents during those crucial first weeks. Parents need time to bond, establish routines, and nurture their child, whether they carried the child, adopted them, or became a parent through a surrogate. Newborn children under 6 weeks of age are not eligible for daycare services. Again, a leave policy that does not allow paid leave puts an emotional and financial strain on new and growing families. In our case, my wife and I are both RCPS employees, and we would forego 12 weeks of pay without the ability to use accrued leave that is afforded to birthing mothers and their spouses. Excluding surrogacy and adoption from our paid leave policies undermines the equity and compassion we strive to model in our schools. Families today are built in many beautiful ways. It is critical that our policies reflect this reality. It is not only impacts those employees personally and professionally, but also signals that some family structures are less recognized or supported than others. Roanoke City Public Schools has been a leader in supporting families and fostering diverse, inclusive environments. Updating this policy would align with best practices in educational and human resources, support staff retention and morale, as well as demonstrate a commitment to equity, fairness, and the diverse needs of our workforce. Other districts in Virginia, at least 5 that I could find, as well as countless other districts across the country, have made this change, not only recognizing that all forms of parenthood deserve support, but go above and beyond what FMLA law requires to support families with a paid leave policy. I have copies of 2 of those exact policies for you. I respectfully urge the board to review this policy and immediately take steps toward a more inclusive, family-friendly approach so children like my son will have the same opportunity to bond with his parents without causing unfair hardship as other children of so-called traditional families. Thank you for your time, your service to our community, and your consideration of this important matter.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you who spoke this evening and everybody who is here. You can give that to our clerk, and we will all receive copies. Thank you. On behalf of the school board, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to speak with us. We value the feedback from our community in all its form, and public input is crucially important to us as we make our decisions. And I think, just as a side note, because we don't often have nurses in a mass here, thank you for all you do every day. We don't often call you out singularly, but thank you for what you do.
And congratulations on your new baby.
And congratulations on your new baby. That's a head full of hair.
All right, thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda, is there a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by Dr. Jameson, seconded by Ms. Quintana. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. And the motion passes. Ms. Watkins, please tell us about the gifts that have been received by RCPS.
I'm up, my favorite.
Yep.
The board accepts with gratitude the following donations. Ms. Ashley Canty donated a crocodile walker / gait trainer to the RCPS Special Education Department. The estimated value of this device is $1,000. Richardson Wayland Ferreira LLC provided a donation of $2,000 for the food pantry and family resource room at the Community Empowerment Center. On behalf of RCPS and our school board and staff and students and families, we want to say thank you again, and we appreciate all of our community partners. And anyone out there that wishes to become a community partner or a partner with RCPS to move our students and families forward, please come forward. We're happy to partner with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Watkins. Okay, and on to the superintendent's reports. Dr. White. please provide us with your updates.
Hi, very good. Good evening and congratulations again, Madam Chair. And good evening, members of the school board and to everyone here and online. This evening, we are bringing forward items for your information and consideration, including approval of the VHSL membership applications for the 25-26 school year, approval of returning student health services under the management of RCPS. Before we get to our agenda, however, I'd like to highlight a few items for the board and for the public's information. I am so pleased to share that the Community Empowerment Center opened to the public last week, and it has already served more than 100 families.
Wow.
So this center is truly by the community and for the community, because we know that when our families succeed, our students naturally succeed as well. So we want to strengthen our families so that we can strengthen the children in our families. And so while the center has opened for a soft launch, that's what we're calling it, we are still putting the finishing touches on the signage and a few other items. So we have moved the ribbon cutting to Friday, August 29th at 11 a.m. So mark your calendars, Friday, August 29th at 11 a.m. So we invite the community to join us to celebrate. And I want to thank our Director of Community Engagement, Corey Alder. He was here a little bit earlier, who is leading the center, as well as Assistant Superintendent for Student Success and Support Services, Dr. Haley Poland, and the center's staff. I also want to acknowledge Claire Mitzel for all of her hard work, and our communications team as well. So again, just thank you to everyone, our facilities team as well, Chris Perkins and our operations team for getting everything up and running for us. So I just want to say thank you and congratulations on getting the center open. Also, the Roanoke Magazine and Junior Achievement of Southwest Virginia recently announced this year's 18 Under 18 Award recipients, recognizing outstanding young leaders throughout the Roanoke Valley. So I'm excited to share that 3 of our students from Roanoke City Public Schools were named to that list. So congratulations to Lex Farmer from Patrick Henry High School and the Roanoke Valley Governor School. Congratulations, Lex. Congratulations to Jayla Irving from William Fleming High School. And congratulations to Kaylin Johnson from Patrick Henry High School. Also, as a reminder to our parents, it's not too late to register for our Staying Safe by Staying Connected camp for our 5th through 8th graders. So this year's camp runs from July 21st to 24th and features a mix of lifetime sports, fine arts, and career exploration. So simply visit the RCPS website and click on the registration banner in the orange bar to register. I want to again thank our coaches, our student volunteers, and everyone who made this year's athletic camps possible, including, again, Dr. Poland, and the Director of CTE Programming, Kathy Duncan, Josh Johnson, our Coordinator of Youth Development, and Fine Arts Supervisor, Whitney Johnson, and their staffs for making Staying Safe by Staying Connected possible. Also, as we prepare for the start of the school year, we want to remind families about opportunities for your students to receive the required vaccinations. I know the nurses love that, right? Okay. And so we want all of our students to have their required vaccinations and their physicals, right? That they may need. We have information posted on our website, on our back to school page regarding upcoming vaccination clinics and hours for our summer health clinics. So first up this evening, our first report, I will ask Patty Atkinson, Director of Athletics, to come forward to provide information for your consideration and approval on the 25-26 VHSL membership applications for Patrick Henry and William Fleming High Schools. Ms. Atkinson.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson, Superintendent White, school board members, thank you for this time. The Virginia High School League is a nonprofit voluntary organization composed of over 316 high schools in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The League is a service organization whose purpose is to build better citizens through interscholastic activities such as athletics, drama, debate, forensics, cheerleading, creative writing, and publications for students throughout Virginia. More than 150,000 boys and girls participate in league programs each year, which are organized into several divisions according to geography and size. 1A is the smallest and 6A is the largest. Patrick Henry and William Fleming High School participates as a 5C school. High schools apply for membership in VHSL with the approval of their governing body. Participating high schools agree to follow the rules of eligibility and all the other rules, regulations, and policies of the Virginia High School League. Membership in the VHSL affords member schools numerous benefits, including equitable competition for all, a common set of rules for competition, leadership education, workshops, and competition for drama, debate, forensics, creative writing, and publications, state championships in athletic competitions, and awards, materials, and supplies. The 2025-2026 Virginia High School League membership fee is $800 plus $35 for each varsity activity. VHSL has student accident and liability insurance coverage with Valcorp. The insurance assessment for Virginia High School League members for the 25-26 school year is $5.50 per student. Fall, winter, and spring athletes are included in this amount of the insurance premium. Insurance does not cover out-of-season practice, and schools may individually elect to purchase additional coverage for their student body. As reflected on the attached membership form, Patrick Henry had 26 and William Fleming had 24 sponsored activities for fall, winter, and spring during the 2024-25 school year. Following is the list that you have of the athletic and academic activities for the two high schools. Patrick Henry High School's Class 5 Region C River Ridge cost would be $4,647. William Fleming's Class 5 Region C Blue Ridge would be $4,406.50. The VHSL membership application also includes permission from the superintendent for Sunday play in emergency situations such as inclement weather. On several occasions in the past few years, the VHSL contacted school division superintendents to obtain approval for high school teams to play on Sunday due to forecasted inclement weather conditions on the scheduled day of play. My recommendation, please, is that the board is requested to approve the VHSL membership application for Patrick Henry High School and William Fleming High School and provide approval for the two high schools to participate in Sunday play in emergency situations.
All right. Is there a motion and a second to approve the VHSL membership applications for Patrick Henry and William Fleming High Schools and provide approval for the two high schools to participate in Sunday play in emergency situations?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Quintana, seconded by Ms. Trigg. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you, Mrs. Atkinson. Next, I'll ask our Chief Operations Officer, Chris Perkins, to provide an update on student health services and information for your approval regarding a plan to return school nurses under the management of our CPS.
Thank you, Dr. White, Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. White, ladies and gentlemen. Given Korean Clinic's unexpected decision to discontinue oversight of our school nursing program as of June 30th, we are respectfully recommending that we transition to provide essential services in-house. As you were briefed on June the 24th, 2025, and we have provided documentation to you to support this endeavor, we are now seeking your approval to move forward. I'll take any questions that you may have.
I think it's an
Questions?
amazing idea.
I would just say that I'm so pleased that you looked into it so quickly. I'm excited that it's going to work out, everything they do and more. Everybody loves their school nurse. It's nice that we'll be able to call them ours now.
Right. Is there a motion and a second to approve the return of student health service nurses under the direct management of Roanoke City Public Schools.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Watkins, seconded by Ms. Trigg. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. All right, and the motion passes. Thank you very, very much, Mr.
you.
Perkins, and thank you to the nurses.
To our school nurses, we appreciate you and more than you know, and welcome to our CPS. And I want to thank Mr. Perkins, I want to thank Jill Jeter as well for your leadership, especially working together to find a solution so quickly. So again, thank you to the team. We have an amazing team. I know I brag on our team all the time. That's because they deserve it. They are problem solvers, and so I just want to thank you for your hard work. And Madam Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. White. All right, moving on to the division financial perspective. Mrs. Jackson, if you would please present the financial forecast and fund balance.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, Chair and Mrs. Apel, members of the school board, and Dr. White. We are bringing to you this evening our monthly update. This is reporting through the month of May. So we'll get that going in just a second, I'm sure. There we go. All right, so we'll jump in, starting with our general operating fund, looking at our revenue again through the end of the month of May. When we compare against the 3-year average of actual experience through May in the prior 3 years, we are forecast to be about 3.878 million above budget on the revenue side. So that's certainly favorable. Also looking good on the expenditure side with experience through May, forecast to be about 3.65 million below budget on that side. I will note, however, that as you will certainly recall, we were required by the Virginia Department of Education to adopt new textbooks for English language arts this year ahead of schedule. And so that is something that we worked to build into our budget sort of at the last minute this year. Those expenses will be realized in June, so you don't see them here, and that was right around $3 million, so that'll bring that variance down when we report through June. So that's just something to keep in mind and look for in future reports. But based on our experience through May, we are in a good position. We had adopted a budget that proposed utilizing about 1.75 million out of fund balance. So were we to end the year based on that experience through May, we would actually be in a position to add about almost 7 million to fund balance based on experience thus far. So you see the history of that fund balance up and down in that general fund there. And moving on to the food services fund, based on experience through May, we are forecast to be about $120,000 below budget on the revenue side. So not favorable, but fortunately on the expenditure side, we are also forecast to be under budget and by about $700,000. So we had adopted a budget intending to utilize about $1.5 million out of fund balance in that fund. So were we to end the year based on experience through May, we would use just under $1 million of that. So I'm still forecast to utilize fund balance, but just not quite as much. And you see here the graphically the history of the fund balance in that particular fund as well. So that is what I have for you, an update through May, but I'm happy to take questions or comments.
Any questions or comments from the board? Thank you as always, Ms. Jackson. And moving on, Ms. Jackson again, as we look at the financial statements, is there anything unusual to report?
I have nothing further beyond the sort of high level that we just covered, but I'm certainly happy to take any questions or comments about the more detailed statements if you have any.
Right. Hearing none, thank you very much, Mrs. Jackson. The statements will be received and filed.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to future business. We have several reminders of upcoming events. So August, if you can believe it, is just a few weeks away.
Unacceptable.
We have Load the Bus from August 1st through 3rd at multiple Walmart locations. August 14th is Convocation at 9 a.m. at the Berglund Center. A wonderful event. We hope to see many of you there. August 16th is the Back to School Extravaganza from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at William Fleming High School. And then August 19th, 2025 is the first day of school. Yes, yes. And as Dr. White mentioned, the ribbon cutting for the Community Empowerment Center will be August 29th, 2025 at the Community Empowerment Center at 11 a.m. Any other reminders there?
Our workshop on the 26th.
Yes,
Our workshop on the
that there will be no workshop. No, there will be no board workshop in July.
Oh, yes, there are no workshop, there's no school board workshop in July per the calendar that was also approved. All right. So moving on to ongoing business. The board has more ongoing business. Is there a motion and a second to approve Dr. Lorraine Lang, okay, Mr. David Blevins, and Dr. N. Wayne Tripp as hearing officers for the 2025-2026 school year?
Moved? Second.
Moved by Dr. Jameson, seconded by Ms. Trigg. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. And the motion passes. Thank you very much to our hearing officers. All right. Is there any ongoing business or reports to share at this time? And it looks like we have a policy, governance, and legislative priorities committee report.
That's
All
me.
right.
Excuse me, the Superintendent Policies, Governance, and Legislative Committee met on June 16th, 2025, to review and consider the policy updates presented for first review at the June workshop and for consideration for adoption this evening. The committee also reviewed an alternative community feedback system software application and endorsed a plan to migrate from Ethics Point by NAVEX to Let's Talk by K-12 Insight, using existing funds in a time and manner determined by IT staff. Based on staffing changes at Advantage Strategies, the committee supports delaying the renewal of the consulting contract to evaluate options, including renewal, reduced scope, or non-renewal this fall. Lastly, the committee reviewed its legislative engagement calendar in preparation for the development of legislative priorities and positions for the 2026 General Assembly and the board's annual Take Your Legislator to School Month event in November.
Right. Thank you very much, Ms. Quintana. Are there any other committee reports at this time? All right. So we do have a closed meeting this evening. Do we have a motion for the closed meeting?
I move that the board convene in a closed meeting pursuant to 2.2-3711A8 of the Code of Virginia for consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by the public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel, and to discuss specific Roanoke City Public Schools officers, appointees, or employees for the purpose of considering such persons' assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation pursuant to Section 2.2-3711A1 Code of Virginia.
Is there a second for the closed meeting? So moved by Ms. Trigg, seconded by Dr. Jameson. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Tresky, please call the roll.
Dr. Jamison,
Yes.
Ms. Quintana,
Yes.
Trigg,
Yes.
Mrs. Watkins,
Yes.
Mrs. Apel.
Yes. And there will not be anything further that the board will be voting on after the closed meeting for those in the audience to know. All right.
Good job.